Hello and welcome back to lesson 2 on guide paths. Now, to remind you, we've gone and looked at the classic tween and the motion tween, and so we've got a good idea of how to move objects across the stage. Guide paths are really useful because we can create a complicated path for our objects to follow, and it is a little bit easier than using the motion tween. So let me show you how to do that. We have 3 layers. We've got a wasp layer that is hidden, and I'll hide that and we'll use that for a little bit later. We have our bee and we have our background, and I'm going to show you how to draw a little complicated path around these flowers which the bee is going to follow. Now, the first thing that we need to do is to create some frames. So we're going to go up to frame 60. Then I'm going to right click and insert frame. Okay, so in order for our bee to follow a path, we've got to create a new layer. So do make sure that your bee layer is selected. Click on the plus sign and double click on the name layer 2 and type in guide underscore path and press enter or return. Now it's on this layer that we're going to draw our path. So with the pencil tool, and if I open up, you'll see that I've got it on a nice bright color with a stroke of 3, so it's easy to see. And I'm going to go and draw a path. Now do make sure that your guide path layer is selected. So here we go. I'm going to draw a path, and you can make it a little more complicated than mine, but this is the path I'm going to be drawing. And we go off there. Now I'm going to make sure that my path is on the guide path, so I'm going to hide it and open it up. I've seen many times the guide path put on the B layer, and that's where we don't want it. Okay, so down the side here we have all of the same symbols. So all of these symbols are showing that they are layers. We need to change the properties of our guide path. So right click and select guide, and you'll see that it's turned to a hammer. The next thing we need to do is to connect our B layer to the guide path layer, and that's really easy. Select the B layer, and what I want you to do, hold your left finger down and just lift slightly, and you'll see that it indents. And when I let go, you need to see that your symbol has changed. So the B layer is connected to the guide path, but we still need to make the bee move. And so we're going to be putting in a tween. So right click, and the only option you should have is create classic tween. So click on that, and you'll see that your bee snaps to the start of the path. Move your timeline to the end, and then move, using your selection tool, your bee to the end here, and it should snap in. So when I use my timeline, we can see that the bee is able to move. Let's press play and we'll see it moving. There we go. Now the next thing that we want to do is to make sure that the bee is better aligned. So to do that, if I expand that panel and I'm going to click on the path itself, you will see a little box called Orient to Path. Go and click on that, and let's see what difference that makes. There you go. So the bee is now following the path much better. Okay, so I've shown you how to use the guide path. Let's bring in our wasp. Okay, so now this is your opportunity to create a guide path for the wasp, and you can either try and get him to beat the bee or intercept the bee. You decide what you want to do with the wasp. What you will need to do though is select the wasp layer and create a new guide path, and then go and follow all the instructions that I've gone and given you. Okay, thank you for watching, and I look forward to seeing you in the next video. Bye-bye.